They say that dreaming is the beginning of having everything you want in this life. And I agree. I've spent my whole life hearing people call me dreamer, unrealistic. But you know what? I prefer to live in my head when I'm happy and nurture those thoughts so one day they become a reality. After my setback, I seized the moment, and one day I woke up and I thought, you know what? Today my dream begins. Not tomorrow, not in a few months, not in a few years, but now. I will work to become the version of myself I've dreamed of for so long with passion. I've pictured myself for so long in my head. I have to make it a reality. I have to stop thinking that I will only achieve my dreams when I'm ready, because the truth is it's crucial to start long before we are fully prepared. Have you ever thought about how sad life can be if we just let go of everything we have dreamed about for so long in our heads? I mean, if it's been in our head for so long, it's because some way it's true. And that's what I'm going after. I am going to become the best version of myself. One day I woke up and I was no longer the girl who blended in with others. I was no longer the girl who went out at night seeking for happiness and chasing what others dictated to her. I was no longer the girl who feared trying, dreaming, living, who feared the darkness of the world. I was no longer the insecure girl. I was no longer the strange girl, different from the rest. I mean, I'm kind of still different, but at least now that's my normal. But I was no longer just a girl. I was no longer just a supporting character of my own story, you know. It's hard to say this, but it's the tough things that happens in life, the destructive storm in our little garden, that make our secrets, roots bloom. We all run from pain in our own ways. We all turn the page in our own ways. Sometimes we need to cut it off. But I shouldn't do that. I didn't do that at all. I used the pain I felt for, the pain I lived through, the unpredictable tomorrow. I was so scared of different kind of pains, to evolve, to grow up, to improve myself in a better way, to start over. You know, pain is subjective. You can't compare your pain to others' pain, because it's simple. It's not your pain, you know. Why are you going to compare a pain that you aren't able to feel? Some people are swallowed by it and end up with it. Others just use the pain as a lesson. I choose mine. I choose the way I should use the pain. One day everything changed, and it wasn't anyone. It was the life, the tough moments of life that changed me, that taught me how to choose. But now I know my choices influence the course of my life. And now I have to choose for moving forward. If it sometimes means to just stepping back. When that happens, I will know how to turn things around. That's how grow up I feel myself now. Knowing that if something happens in my life, I will be prepared for turning all the things around and growing up and use it as a lesson. I am writing my story. I am carefully choosing the energies I let in my life. And I let go of anything that doesn't make me evolve, that does not longer serve me, everything that doesn't bring me joy, everything that's not my concern. I no longer blame me for the mother's friends relationships, the mother of pure friendships. I mean, in that time it seemed really pure, but now I look back and I see that's not what it was meant for. Things happen for a reason. So I no longer blame myself for something that is not in my control, you know. Sometimes people do stupid things, and that's because humans are stupid in general, and we can't blame ourselves for someone's bad actions. We can't blame ourselves in general for just not being invited for some party. That's not fair for us, for our mind. It was something I learned lately, that sometimes we have to put ourselves in a position where we are not the guilty of our own story. We can be always the guilty. We can't blame us, make us a villain, because we are not. Okay, sometimes we can fail, we can commit some errors, and that's completely fine. And I blame myself when it's something I actually do. But at some point, if I am constantly blaming myself, that's toxic for my mind, and that's something I learned. All the blood spilled in the murder of this fake pure friendship is now my weapon. It's my weapon to protect myself for future situations. One day I woke up and I felt the need to be more, so I fight every day against myself, because I am my only competition. I am my only limit. I fight every day. I want to be more, a little bit every day. I educate myself for every different platforms. I listen podcasts, I read. So I educate first. I didn't learn overnight. It took time, and it's still unfolding. I think the desire of being my best version is never going to just disappear. I didn't see it as a bad thing at all. I never wanted a normal life. I never felt normal. In my childhood, I suffered a lot because of being different, feeling different. So I used the pain in the worst possible way, hiding in the society pattern. I became that pattern. I did what others did. I never had opportunity to get to know myself. I clipped my wings and stripped myself for the beauty I was born with, the beauty that makes me unique. I didn't see myself in that way. I didn't see myself as unique as a piece of art, like I was in a different planet. I was in a different dimension. I guess I was led by the circle of lies they construct, especially for me. I wasn't made the same way they were. My spirit is in this world for a mission, and I can say I finally found my purpose and my passion. And my passion is my solitude. Loneliness is a sad word only for those who don't see it as the same as I do. I love being alone. I love my own company. I love spending time with myself. Of course, being surrounded by true friends warms always the heart, but being in your loneliness, when learning to follow my own company has allowed me to know exactly what should stay close. I realize it's perfectly fine to find happiness in other places, in the art of my little world, my daily routine, the art of feeling the sun in the morning, awaking my body, every corners of my body, and wishing me good morning with expressions of joy. The art of running barefoot in a green field and feeling the connection with the nature. The art of finishing a book and feeling kind of empty, feeling like some part of you just was forever in that book. So you lost a piece of you, but somehow it's kind of a good thing. I don't know how to explain this, but reading is the most way for me to find happiness. It's like the art of just, you are in the last chapter. Everything can change. Everything can happen. And then you read it, and at the end, the truth, the purpose, everything you were expect for or not was in that chapter. So what I mean is, when I finally end the chapter, I feel empty inside, and I need some hours to reflect. I put my time, my love, my heart on a book, and when I finally end it, it's kind of having a breakup with my books. Bye book. And when I love so much a book that I feel that feeling, that I'm empty, I know it's a good book. And that's the kind of art I'm talking about. The art of listening your favorite songs and dancing as no one is watching you. The art of looking people in the eyes and being honest with them with kindness. The art of feeling everything intensely as possible. Crying deeply, loving deeply, lauding vividly. I am a reflex of art in my own eyes. That's how I define myself in this new era of me. I am art. I don't actually know if I could say a new era of me, due to the fact that it's probably not just an era. It's so much more than just an era. It takes me to come here with a really large step, a really large development, improvement, self-improvement. And it's sad for me to call it just an era. It's not just an era. It's, I would say, my beginning. The beginning of being who I am. The beginning of living the world in the way I want. The beginning of just living and not surviving. The beginning of forgetting about everyone and focus for once on what I really want, what I really think, what I really love. It's the beginning of being in love with life. I can simply call it the art of living, or the art of feeling in full. Not just an era. Could be more explicit to say the beginning, or probably the art of existing and being and living in full. I've been improving in some specific aspects of my life that I realize I need to improve as soon as possible. And that is my diet, my physical and mental care. I've been journaling, meditating, manifesting, doing my daily affirmations. I've been spending time with myself, and I can say I'm kind of passionate about myself. Kind of no. Fully passionate about myself. That's crazy how the universe signs can scare me sometimes, can catch me sometimes. The other day I just crossed with this elegant woman. Perfect. She had the perfect energy. She was my inspiration. The inspiration I had for so long in my head. The inspiration I have for myself. I see myself in that specific way in my head. And I cross on the street with her. And I look at her and think, I remember thinking, I want to be exactly like you. I want to pass that energy to the world, the energy of a confident woman wearing velvet red lipstick and wearing the perfect clothes, the perfect shoes, the perfect hat, the perfect soul. I want that for me. I want to be like her, but in my way. I don't know her at all. I didn't even speak at her, but it was just an example, just a sign for me. It's funny because one day I was just trying to improve, and the next day I was crossing with my ideal version of myself in a person. If it's not a sign, what can be? But that moment lingered in my mind for so long, because I was used to just not think at all. Mine was empty, and now I have my own thoughts, my own choices, my own beliefs. I have myself. I design myself for myself. Taking care of me is productive. Taking care of me is projecting a better future for me. Taking care of me is improve in life. It's being a successful woman, as I should. If you are watching this video, I wanted to say, be happy, be alive, live, not if it were your last time. Live it, but as if it were your first time. As if you were meeting yourself today for the first time, as if you were looking to the world for the first time. I believe the world would be so magical in that condition. So the purpose here is to romanticize your whole life. So every day after university, I walk through my city, and other times I probably was thinking something like, oh, today the same routine, the same loop. And now I see like, oh, that's a really beautiful building. Why I never noticed before if I was constantly walking near it? That's because I don't see the life with the correct vision. Remember, you are art, and you always will be art in your own eyes. The rest, it's just the rest. It's in your hands to write or to assign the roles in your own story, but you should always be the main character. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoy. That's actually my first video in English, but anyway, thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.